Welcome to the regular meeting of the Cape Coral Youth Council. Today is July 10th, 2026. This meeting will now come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Grigling, please call the roll.
Thank you, Chair. The following member is anticipated to arrive after roll call. Trujillo Garcia. The following members have asked to be excused, and I will mark them so. Members Brown, Jackson, Moran, Turo, and Vargas. When I call your name, please say here. Member Bice?
Here.
Cruz? Here. Francis?
Here.
Habash? Here. Echeverria Campbell?
Here.
Jax?
Here.
Michelina Fernandez?
Here.
Nice?
Here.
Sanchez?
Here.
Salini?
Here.
Wang?
Here.
So I have 1 arriving after roll call, 5 excused, and 11 present.
All right. Moving on to item 4 is guest speakers. There are currently none. Item 5 is changes to the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda? Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Member Jaquez? Is there a second? Member Michelina Fernandez? Member Jaquez made the motion and Member Michelina Fernandez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, moving on. Item 6, reviewing of meeting notes. At our last meeting, we were unable to cast any votes. Today we'll be voting to approve the notes from our last 2 meetings. Are there any changes to the May 8th meeting notes? Do I have a motion to adopt the meeting notes as presented? Member Boyce, is there a second? Member Salimi? Member Boyce made the motion and Member Salimi seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Moving on. Are there any changes to the June 12th meeting notes? Do I have a motion to adopt the meeting notes as presented? Member Wang? Is there a second? Member Nice? Member Wang made the motion and Member Nice seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Moving on to item 7 is recognitions and achievements. There are currently none. Moving on to item 8 is advisor presentations. I will now turn the floor over to Advisor Hayden.
Thanks, Chair. Missed you all last month. Glad to be back. Hopefully that'll be the only meeting that I'll ever miss. Normally I use this time to talk about what City Council's been doing, but obviously now you're going to be taking care of that responsibility for me. And they've been on break, but when they do get back from break, starting next week, it'll be budget all the time until they pass it. They'll have 2 public hearings in September to set the millage rate, to set the budgets. Come I think the 3rd week in September, they'll pass the budget, which will be a fiscal year budget, which will carry them, will be the operating capital budgets for fiscal year 26-27. So that'll be priority number 1 for City Council coming up. That's all I got. I'll have some other things to say when we get to other parts of the agenda, but Chair, it's back to you.
Okay, awesome. Moving on to item 9 is citizens input. This consists of input of citizens on matters concerning city government, and they have 3 minutes per individual. The council will listen to all speakers and respond after all speakers have made their presentations. I will now read the Pledge of Civility. We will be respectful of each each other even when we disagree. We will direct all comments to the issues. We will avoid personal attacks. Citizens' input is now open. Any members of the public wishing to speak, please use the podium to the left, facing the dais, and state your name for the record. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing none, citizens' input is now closed. Moving on to item 10 is quarterly report. At our last meeting, we discussed the quarterly report. To refresh everyone's memory, the quarterly report is a presentation by the Youth Council to our City Council at one of their regular meetings, typically delivered 3 times throughout the term. Our first report is in August, and I would like to establish our presentation date now. There are 2 dates in August that will work. They are August 19th and August 26th. If you guys could please check your calendars briefly and let me know which date best works for everyone. Like for August 19th or August 26th, which one would work better for you guys for the quarterly report presentation?
I have a few after-school activities on August 26th, so August 19th would work for me.
Okay.
So Vice Chair, maybe you can start by saying, show of hands for August 19th, count those. Show of hands for August 26th, count those.
Okay, so show of hands for August 19th. Okay, everyone. All right, so do I have a motion to establish August 19th as our quarterly report presentation date? Member Jacquez, do I have a member to second? Member Michelina Fernandez? Member Jacquez made the motion and Member Michelina Fernandez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say nay. Furthermore, we will need a group of members to work on the quarterly report presentation. I would like both junior and senior members to work on the project, as the senior members are already familiar with the format. If you're interested with this presentation, please raise your hand. Okay. Do I have any seniors? Okay. Perfect. Do I have a motion to have members Jacquez, Boyce, and Echeverria Campo to work on the August 19th quarterly report presentation? Member Boyce, do I have a member to second? Member Jacquez. Member Boyce made the motion, Member Jacquez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. As part of the backup, we were given the PowerPoint presentation that was used last year. It is only for reference. The PowerPoint presentation can be revised based on our discussion today. Now, we need to discuss ideas for the topic we want for the presentation, so our members know how to prepare. Does anyone have any ideas for the presentation?
I do have an idea for the presentation for the junior project. Is that correct?
For the
Or-
quarterly report.
Quarterly report.
Like, put inside of it, is what you're asking?
You're asking here, huh? So, no, because, the junior project is like, for the actual project, this is for the quarterly report presentation. So like in your backup materials, if you see, it will show like the quarterly report presentation. So then we wanted to see if anyone had any ideas that could be added or revised to the presentation? If anyone has any ideas? No?
Vice Chair, I'm gonna stop you guys. I'm so sorry I'm sitting over here, but this is where they have the computer right now, so we'll just have to bear with where I'm talking from. So the reason I put the backup material in there is to show you guys obviously what they did at the very first one. So since this is our first presentation, and a lot of our council members obviously don't know our new juniors incoming, I would suggest we stick with the same format at the beginning, where we highlight obviously our juniors and a picture of them, and then obviously our seniors and a picture of them. Obviously today we're going over a lot of stuff. Hopefully we're going to choose our junior project, which can obviously go in there. So till we choose the junior project, we should automatically assume that's gonna go in there. So forth, same thing with the senior project. When we choose the senior project, we're not gonna obviously maybe start it, but at least they'll have an idea, this is what we're gonna be working on, and give them as much information, okay? And the same thing with the other projects. So that would be my suggestion. It's kind of hard since this item was at the beginning, and a lot of the stuff that we're gonna talk about is probably going to go in there. But maybe what we can do is at the end, maybe we should kind of hold this one back for now. Let's go through all of the items and then come back at the end and make this an item that we can go over. Everybody agree? Okay, perfect. So we're gonna just table it for right now. Go ahead and go on, Vice Chair, to your next item, and then we'll just make sure at the end we go back to this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So please make sure that the draft presentation is done and submitted to Ms. Grigland no later than Friday, August 7th. Okay. Okay. Moving on to item 11A, the junior project. In our previous meeting, we discussed the senior project. Every year, the junior members on this council vote on a project that they will work on over the course of the term. These projects typically involve community engagement, and given the youth council's purpose, should aim to collect data from our peers to present to the city council. At our last meeting, we requested that anyone with an idea for the junior project outline in a document. We had 4 junior members to submit ideas, and you can find these documents in your backup materials. Who would like to go first? Okay, member Michelina Fernandez.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say good afternoon to everyone, and I hope you're having a pleasant day. My idea was that, okay, so many students have career goals, so they worry a lot about their future, like colleges and stuff like that. So my idea was that we can create a survey and hold a career fair for these students in the age of like 11 to 18, so middle school to high school, I think, and ask questions about what interests them for careers and what concerns they may have in the future. And if they know anything about internships or opportunities or for volunteer, or what resources they wish were accessible for them. After that, we can organize the data that we come from the surveys and identify the common theme or the common problems and compare those problems with different age groups, and then compare them to the age groups. After that, we can organize the career fair where these students can have direct conversations with these professionals so they can have more in-depth of talk with like the certain careers they wish to be in. After that, we could present these findings and recommendations that help to the City Council, that help understand the students' interest and perhaps develop future programs that may support them, such as workshops, career mentorship, or just more better understanding how to like apply for college or like extracurriculars, or guide them to be more successful in the future. That's it.
Okay, awesome. I actually love that idea. It's a really good idea. Okay. Anybody else would like to add on? I think Echeverria? Do you want to go with yours? Okay.
Hello,
are all good. My project is called Youth Mental Health. I chose this idea because I know many students deal with stress, anxiety, and pressure from school and everyday life, but they don't feel comfortable talking about it or don't know how to talk to. My idea is to create a short, anonymous monthly survey that students can complete using a QR code or an online form. This will help us better understand how the students are feeling and what they need. The Youth Council could share the results with schools and the City Council. This could help school students and staff better understand what the students are going through so they can provide the right support when it's needed. That's my idea. Thank you.
So, Chair, I want you to hold that thought till the end of the agenda because we have something to discuss about the mental health survey that was worked on last year that you may or may not be aware of. And there could be a possibility during that discussion for you to get really involved with that project. So hold that thought.
Okay, so that was a great idea as well. I actually like it a lot too. So I think that was our two. So I'll say mine. So for anybody that was here last meeting, you guys remember that I was talking about a field day. So for anyone that wasn't here, mine was that I wanted to plan a community field day here in either the Pelican complex or the Trafalgar complex, where elementary, middle, and high school students can all come together on the same day to have fun and be active. The events can be held at either complex since it has a lot of space in different fields. Each age group would have activities that fit them best. Elementary school students would have relay races, obstacle courses, tug of war, and other field day game events. Middle school students could play soccer, kickball, and capture the flag. And high school students could have another more competitive tournament, as in like 7-on-7 flag football, soccer, or even like baseball and softball. I also want to invite local food trucks and small businesses to set up as vendors so families can enjoy the event and support small local businesses. This project would need to be planned with like months in advance so that there's enough time to find sponsors, advertise around schools and the community. Sign up would go with teams and we would get volunteers, and my goal is to create an event that brings the community together and give kids of all ages a chance to stay active and provide a fun day for families to enjoy. I don't know if you guys would be down for that, but another thing I would like to add is, since I have a small business, when it comes to this idea, I've already thought of like multiple vendors that would be willing to like be a vendor and, you know, have food trucks all around. Like that would be amazing to have like, you know, a game, and then after that, you know, you go to the food trucks and you have like 10 choices and you can't figure out which ones because they all look good. So I think that would be a really great idea for the junior project. Okay. Is there anyone else who had an idea that they wanted to share but didn't submit any backup materials? No? Is there any further discussion? Yes.
Well, I just want to, I don't know if this is like the time to talk about it now, but I think your idea is great, and it reminds me a lot of what we did our junior project last year, where it was like a movie night in the park.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say, if we end up doing that, I would be glad to help you. So,
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we will now vote on the junior project. As your name is called, please. Oh, I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to talk about both of your ideas. Personally, I find that member Fernandez's idea is really stable, and it's like the pursuit of its goal to gather reliable data, because it's really a simple idea. And I do also like your idea. I just wanted to run over like the things I really liked about your ideas. And as long as you have variety with your field day idea, in which like all students of different interests can like participate, or at least they can find one enjoyable thing from the event, that would be great. That's that's an awesome idea, and I like the other idea as well, just for that, just guaranteed like all aroundness in its like and high success rate, honestly. So yeah, just wanted to say that.
Perfect, thank you. And yeah, your idea is pretty good too. We will now vote on the junior project. As your name is called, please state the name, or instead, I'm gonna do project A, B, and C that you are in favor for.
Okay, so hold on, Vice Chair. I want to ask Hecheveria Campbell, are you okay, based on what Mr. Hayden said, to remove your idea from the junior project since it'll coincide with the last one? Perfect. Okay, so that in that case, we've only got 2 projects we're choosing from.
Okay,
The first one, I basically titled it Career Opportunity, and the second one is Field Day. So I'm gonna go down the line, and all you need to tell me is either Career Opportunity or Field Day. Everybody understand? Okay.
career opportunity.
Cruz,
Career opportunity.
Francis,
Career opportunity.
Habash,
Field day.
Hecheveria Campbell,
Chris, opportunity.
Career Day. Jax,
Field day.
Michelania Fernandez,
Career opportunity.
Nice,
Career opportunity.
Sanchez,
Field day.
Salini,
Field day.
Trulio Garcia,
Field day.
and Wang.
Career opportunity.
Okay, so I have 7 for Career Opportunity and 5 for Field Day.
Okay. Do I have a motion to make Michelanas Fernandez the years, or? Okay, do I have a motion to make the career opportunities the year's junior project? Member Cruz, is there a second? Member Neese? Member Cruz made the motion and Member Neese seconded. Any discussion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Congratulations, Member Michelena Fernandez, on your project being chosen. You're the project leader overseeing this project from start to finish. Member Michelena Fernandez, for our next meeting, I'm going to ask you to write a summary of what the next steps are and how our members can support you in your mission. Please make sure that the draft is completed and submitted to Ms. Grigelin no later than Friday, August 7th, so it can be uploaded as backup material for the August meeting.
And Chair, the key thing to remember, especially for the junior project, is if it doesn't get done during this particular cycle of youth council members, it can carry over and become the senior project. It certainly happened before. For instance, the Lovelock's project was ongoing for like 6 or 7 years. So don't be in a rush to get this done. Do it right, get it organized right, ask for help, and it'll be great.
Okay, moving on to item 11B, which is the senior project. Similarly, the seniors were asked to put their ideas in a document as well. We had 2 senior members to submit ideas, and you could still find all these documents in your backup materials. Who would like to go first?
I'm sorry, I could not hear you, Vice Chair. Did you ask me something?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know do you want me to say Vargas' speech?
So we'll leave Vargas at the end. If you continue, you'll see where I have scripted that for you.
Yeah.
So let the other members who have their ideas first.
Okay. Member Cruz?
Yeah, if I may. Okay, so my project idea was, I titled it Community Harvest Garden. It's going to be a community service initiative that allows families, businesses, organizations to sponsor by paying a yearly or a seasonal fee in order to purchase seeds, fruit trees, gardening supplies, irrigation equipment, and maintenance material. Volunteers can plant, care for, and harvest the crops and also distribute crops to those who need it. It comes comes at no cost to the individual families, to the individuals and families who have low income. And community members in need can visit the garden during designated distribution days to collect fresh produce in a respectful environment. The project encourages community involvement by offering volunteer opportunities for students, local organizations, and residents of Cape Coral, and volunteers that help with planting, watering, weeding, harvesting, and distributing produce while will earn community service hours and learn about sustainable agriculture, which I know Cape Coral has a lot of. We could also incorporate volunteer days in which we make meals with fruits and vegetables that we grow so that anyone who has the ability to come on that day can eat a fresh, healthy meal that provides nutrients. It would also be really nice if we could collaborate with the Key Club of all Cape Coral high schools in order to host food pantries at such a location if we have the funds to have a location specific to this project. The goals of this project are to increase fresh fruits and vegetables for low-income families and also reduce food insecurity within the community, which I have unfortunately seen a lot of. I also would like to promote healthy eating habits and sustainable gardening practice so that the residents of Cape Coral do not have to only rely on cheap fast food, and also create partnerships with local businesses, schools, and nonprofits in order to support long-term sustainability. If I may do a rundown of how this works, I'll do so right now. Community members sponsor a garden plot or a fruit tree through a donation. Volunteers grow and maintain the gardens. Fruits and vegetables are harvested throughout the season, and eligible low-income families visit the garden during scheduled collection days to receive fresh produce. Any remaining produce may be donated to local food pantries or shelters to minimize waste. The impact that this should have on the community is to provide food to families through service and bring the community together through service, education, and environmental stewardship. By combining donations, volunteer efforts, and sustainable gardening, the project creates a lasting source of nutritious food and strengthens community connections. In this proposal, I rely on my hopes in that this will help many families and communities that may not necessarily have the funds to provide healthy meals for the family, and volunteers can form empathy with this project. Not only that, but I hope the community garners from this that their government will never forget them in times of need.
That is a great idea too. I actually love that one as well. It's very unique. I definitely can agree on that. Okay, so I'm gonna say Vargas. She had a senior project proposal, so it's also in your backup materials if you wanna like read over it as well, but I'm gonna read it out loud. Hers was to organize a community breast cancer support event in partnership with the Pink Divas United, which is a local nonprofit organization based in Cape Coral that supports and empowers breast cancer survivors. The event would include an activity such as charity pickleball tournament, walkathon, or a wig showcase celebrating the strength and resilience of women affected by breast cancer. Participants would pay an entry fee to participate, and all proceeds raised would go toward creating care packages for breast cancer survivors and women currently undergoing treatment. Through our partnership with Pink Divas United, we would help identify local women in need and distribute the care packages to provide comfort, encouragement, and support during their journey. So that was hers. Is there anyone else who had an idea that they wanted to share but didn't submit any backup materials? No seniors? Okay. We will now vote on the senior project. As your name is called, please state the project that you are in favor for.
Okay, so the same format we're gonna follow. So I've titled the first one Community Garden and the second one Cancer Project. So those are the only two that you need to tell me, okay? Vice?
Cancer Project.
Cruz?
Community harvest.
Francis?
Community garden.
Habash?
The breast cancer.
Hecheveria Campbell?
Community harvest.
Jax?
Breast cancer.
Michelina Fernandez,
Breast cancer.
Nice,
Cancer project.
Sanchez,
Breast cancer.
Salimi,
Cancer project.
Trujillo Garcia,
Cancer project.
and Wang.
Cancer project.
Okay, so I had 3 for the community garden and 9 for the cancer project.
All right, do I have a motion to make the breast cancer project the senior project? Member Boyce? Do I have a member to second it? Member Sanchez? Member Boyce made the motion, Member Sanchez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Congratulations, Member Vargas, even though she's not here, on your project being chosen. You are the project leader overseeing this project. And she will will have to make a draft, and our members can support her in this mission. Item 11C is Adopt a Road discussion. Just a quick refresher, our Adopt a Road refers to the bi-monthly cleanup of a 1-mile stretch on Santa Barbara Boulevard from Pine Island to Tropicana Parkway. On our first Adopt a Road is tomorrow, July 11th. We will meet in the parking lot of the William Austin Youth Center next to Sunsplash at 7:30 in the morning. We schedule it for 2 hours and sometimes we finish early. I would also like to note that because our Adopt a Road is bi-monthly, you are only permitted 1 absence to maintain the necessary attendance. Your backup material indicates who has confirmed their attendance. So if you guys want to go in your backup materials and make sure that your name is there if you would like. For the record, the following members that will be attending tomorrow is Member Boyce, Frances Hecha Avaria Campo, Jaquez, Michelena Fernandez, Nice, Sanchez, Salimi, Vargas, Wang, and myself. Is there anyone missing? Okay. Is there any further discussion? Great. For those able to come, we will see you tomorrow. Moving on to item 11D, which is School Reach Out Project. Our School Reach Out Project began 2 years ago and has allowed us the opportunity to broaden young people's awareness of city government, encourage involvement through voting, and raise awareness of the Youth Council. In this time, we have been able to visit every high school in Cape Coral. We also seen the impact these presentations have had on member interest and increased knowledge of the Youth Council. The presentation we use is in your backup materials if you would like to check. Our discussion on this project now concerns whether we should continue it. Chair Brown also expressed her support for its continuation as it proven effective at maximizing awareness and member applications. For some schools, it has been 2 years since we presented, leaving freshmen and sophomores who will soon be eligible unaware of our existence. I will now open the floor for discussion on the continuation of the School Reach Out Project. Member Boyce?
I think we should continue it, especially go back to the schools that we didn't go to last year, because like you said, there's a lot of people that haven't seen the presentation yet and they're upcoming, so they're getting to the age where they can join the youth council. So I do feel like we should continue it.
Okay. Member Jaquez?
I also agree with Member Brace. I think we should continue it because as people go on, we're seniors going on juniors. People are gonna forget. Also, we have to keep in mind not everybody was in attendance for each of our presentations.
Mm-hmm.
So the more times that we do it every year, the more different people are gonna show up. People are graduating, and also they'll spread the word as well because nothing is stronger than the word of mouth. So people will be showing up and telling their friends, hey, I heard about this thing. I know some people here, maybe you heard about it from a friend of a friend other than seeing it online. So I think that would be great to just continue it again and again because Mariner was literally the last school that got this presentation. I figured out about Youth Council from another person. I didn't hear about it online. So just keep that in mind as well.
Okay. Is there anybody else? Okay, so we're just gonna do a raise of hands. So raise your hand if you say yes, that we should continue it. Okay, pretty much everyone, yeah. So we're gonna continue the school reach out project. I also had the idea from last meeting that we should do it twice, every school year. So like one in the fall and then one when it comes closer to the application date, because a lot of times people forget that there was even a youth council. They see about us trying to promote the youth council in the fall, and then sometimes, or not even that, but you know, when applications come and then they forget. Yeah.
I was gonna say, rather than having two presentations and it be the exact same presentation, wouldn't it be just better to have the dates move closer towards the application date, but like enough time for them to get used to it, have their questions answered, and then, oh, okay, application time rolls around here, then they'll apply themselves, rather than them hear the same presentation twice.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I like that idea as well. I only thought just because I know a lot of people forget, you know, kids go one year, not the other, you know. So, continuing on, so we all are in favor to continue the school reach out project. Do I have a motion to continue the school reach out program? Member Sanchez, is there a second? Member Neese. Member Sanchez made the motion and Member Neese seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, moving on to item 11E, which is strategic initiative reviews.
Chair, can I stop you for a second? Just want you all to think about something. Member Jacques mentioned it. You've already done the schools. And that's great if you want to go back to the student government groups again. But is there a possibility of maybe expanding it to other community groups? Like having youth council talk to the Chamber of Commerce during their monthly luncheon about what you do and the projects that you're involved with, or any other larger groups that where the community may not be aware of you or what your goals are, what your initiatives are, and explain to them. In future years, if they get to know who you are, it could help with fundraising for future trips and different things, talking to Kiwanis, talking to the Rotary as a group. Just something to think about if you want to expand it beyond just the student government groups. If you don't want to do that, that's fine, but just some thoughts, if you care to have that discussion further on.
Yeah, okay. Let me. Yeah.
Would that be like something you would add to the agenda next meeting, or just like keep that in the back of our minds?
Probably to the next agenda meeting, Ms. Kirkland.
Yeah,
I can't hear what she asked.
She asked if that would be an ongoing conversation that we would add to the next meeting agenda.
only if you want. I mean, that's entirely up to you all.
I would only suggest yes, definitely for this next time, because we need to start coming up with a plan, like who's going to reach out to the schools. Because before we know it, we're going to get farther into the school year, and we're not going to have anybody. Because it takes time, obviously, once school starts, to get in contact with somebody. So I would definitely, to keep it fresh, continue it on to the next agenda. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, so going back to item 11E, strategic initiative review. In your backup material, you will find our strategic plan and initiatives. At the previous meeting, we noticed several edits to this document. As we move into our next term, these edits included updating names, adding the lack of a junior and a senior from each school to weaknesses, adding social media as an opportunity, and adding our trip to DC as an opportunity as well. I will now open the floor for further discussion on potential edits to the strategic plans and initiatives. If anyone wants to speak? I don't remember which item we were talking about. Council Nelson Lastra. that we were like talking about how we wanted to do like a group for the social media idea, like with Chair Brown and myself, you, and the communications director. Did we still want to move through with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll probably bring that up again when we do like the communications director.
Right, you're talking about, I want to bring you guys all in, right? So what I want to do now that I know, I was going to say it later, but what I want to do is similar to what Ms. Griglin and I did last year. I don't know if you came to the first one, Mr. Hayden, but we had like a subcommittee meeting, if you will. And so now that we have the senior project and the junior project, we all got together, and Berenice, Member Sanchez can verify this. We got everybody in a room in our council office, in our conference room, and we had a post-it note, and we went through each project and what needed to happen so that I can help you guys organize. And that's open to anybody that wants to come. So like Member Fernandez, you should definitely be there. Of course, Sanchez, I would love to have you there because you have experience, and you need to be there, and then our chair needs to be there, and any of you that want to come. And what we'll do is we'll organize that, and then we can plan the marketing calendar. We can plan the social media post calendar based on the outcome of that committee meeting, and we can kind of all decide as a subcommittee, and then one of you can report back to the group what we decided and share what the posting calendar will look like, the event calendar. Because when we talk about the DC trip, we're going to have to talk about fundraising for that and how we're going to have, and Member Jacques, you were there, and Sanchez, you were there, where we had a meet and greet, youth council meet and greet. So we're going to have to organize kind of all of that. But I find that it's easier to do with just like a subcommittee meeting as opposed to here, because it just goes a lot quicker, and then you can just report out, and get the votes that you need to support it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so do I have a motion to apply the suggested edits to the strategic plans and initiatives? Member Wang. Is there a second? Member Neese. Member Wang made the motion, Member Neese seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
All right, some quick discussion, okay? How are you gonna apply it to the strategic plan? What's the wording gonna be? And if you're gonna discuss that later, that's fine. And where does it fall into the strategic plan? You don't wanna get too specific with meetings and different things, and when or where they're gonna be. You wanna talk about developing a marketing plan. You wanna talk about improving social media, and then determining where that's gonna fall in the strategic plan. Okay? Strategic plans, your initiatives, your topic should be general enough, and how you're gonna execute that topic needs to be formed. Okay?
Mhm. So would you want me to go back to it and like go over it more? Or just
Well,
continue?
yeah, first off, are you dealing with these separately? And this is the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where would it fall into the strategic plan, and how would it be worded? To me, that should be part of your motion.
Okay. So where we going to play is like the first ring, City of Cape Coral, like the demographic should be like high schoolers and people in the Lee County school system. So specific demographics would be like 0 to 9 years of age, 20 to 29 years of age. And that would include in the our strengths, as in that we have a broad range of yeah.
Okay, so I just have like a question to see if I'm understanding correctly. Are we trying to find where we could put this in the, okay. So I have a suggestion for the kind of group meetings that we have on Saturdays usually that she was talking about. We could probably add those into the opportunities because it would give us more chances to have one-on-one conversations and quicker discussions than having it strictly in
There you
these
go.
formal settings.
Now you're going. Now you're thinking.
Now
Okay.
you're talking, now you're cooking with gas.
Okay, so in the last meeting, we talked about, the opportunities, so then we would add, that the Saturday meetings would be also an opportunity. And like the ones that we already have listed here would be having college satellite campuses, good beach, bring entertainment, enhance quality of life for all generations, homeless shelters, the YMCA, and etc. Is there any that we would want to add that would be weaknesses? Because from what we did last meeting, we added the lack of a junior and a senior from each school. Yeah. So that was just like one of them that we did add. So if there is anybody that wanted to add like a weakness. And then as well, going back to the opportunities, we added our DC trip. If anyone wanted to add. And then we didn't add any threats, but like threats that would we would include would be the weather, like hurricanes resulting in huge expenses, unplanned for growth, overcapacity with healthcare facilities, flooding as a result of major rain events, insurance, and etc. So if anyone wanted to add to that, you're more than welcome to. And I think that would be it on item 11E. I think so.
Is that all you got?
Yeah.
So, under message external, which is the, last thing on the strategic initiatives, there's the last paragraph. It talks about increase our earned media in the local market by getting in contact with 2 local media stations and gaining exposure from them. Assigned a member Johnson, who will report quarterly.
Member Johnson?
That's from last year. So I don't know if that was updated or not. I don't think it was, so someone will need to take on that role.
Okay, so should I do like a who's interested?
Yep.
All right, so raise your hand if you would like to be interested in being assigned to the job that will be increasing our earned media in the local market by getting in contact with 2 local media stations and gaining exposure from them. Please raise your hand. Member Cruz? All right, so let me write that down. All right. So that would be the strategic plan, or no? That would be, okay. So do I have a motion to appoint Member Cruz to make any necessary edits to the strategic plan throughout the year?
Well, no. You just assigned her to do the external messaging part of it, right?
Okay.
That was just one particular part of the
Okay.
plan.
All right, so the strategic plan provides the youth council with a clear roadmap, ensuring that the voices of the young people translate into measurable community impact rather than just conversation. It helps align goals, drive long-term initiatives, and strengthen leadership skills by creating meaningful opportunities to better serve our community. So, would anybody be interested in taking ownership of the strategic plan and making any necessary edits throughout the year? Member Jaquez? Okay. Do I have a motion to appoint Member Jaquez to make any necessary edits to the strategic plan throughout the year? Member Boyce, is there a second? Member Michelena Fernandez. Member Boyce made the motion, Member Michelena Fernandez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Okay. Thank you, Member Jaquez, for volunteering to do that. Please make sure that the draft is completed and submitted to Ms. Grigelin no later than Friday, August 7th, so it can be uploaded as backup material for the August meeting. Moving on to item,
Vice Chair, yeah.
Chair, really fast. Did you appoint Member Cruz to do the earned media part of the strategic plan? Did you take that, make that vote, make that motion, get that second?
okay, so do I have a motion to appoint Member Cruz to do the message external? Okay, Member Francis, do I have a second? Member Jacquez? Okay, so Member Francis made the motion and Member Jacquez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. And thank you again, Member Cruz, for volunteering. And please make sure as well that that draft is completed and submitted to Ms. Grigolin no later than Friday, August 7th, so it can be uploaded as a backup material for the August meeting.
Vice Chair, I'm gonna stop you. I think we need to go through each and every item because there's other edits that need to be done.
Okay.
Like, for example, under the strategic initiatives, people, we have a senior from last year. So I think you need to go through each section and we have to determine if there are other edits.
Okay,
So, because Member Jax is not gonna know all the edits unless we go through them right now,
okay.
okay? So, let's start back from the beginning and maybe Mr. Hayden, you can kind of help her go through them. I'll help as well to make sure, because there are other seniors in there that are no longer on the thing, and those are the edits that we have to make.
Okay.
You didn't do that at the last meeting?
We couldn't vote at the last
That's
meeting.
right. That's right. I forgot.
So I think, Mr. Hayden, it might be best for you to, let's start through each one and see if you notice anything else. But we also together as a group have to say, okay, we know that that was a senior last year, so now we have to appoint somebody.
Yeah.
All right. So when it goes to the strategic initiatives, people, meetups with other youth council groups and other bodies, originally Chair Skorzak was responsible for tracking at the FLC conference. So then we would appoint to someone else to be in charge of that. Mr. Blue?
What section are you in?
Where are you at?
For
Where are
the
you at? What'd you just?
For the strategic initiatives of people,
Yeah, okay.
it says meetups with
Yep.
other youth council
Yeah.
groups.
That would go to,
Chair Brown.
correct,
Okay.
but you'll need to
Okay.
determine who, you'll need to make a motion in a second to assign that to Chair Brown.
Okay. Would you like me to do a motion after each one?
What do you think, each one? Yeah.
Okay. Do I have a motion to appoint Chair Brown to be in charge for tracking at the FLC conference? Member Boyce, do I have a second? Member Cruz? Member Boyce appointed Chair Brown to be in charge of the responsible for tracking at the FLC conference, and Member Cruz seconded. All right.
Underneath, also in people, when we say Vice Chair Brown, that would be changed to you.
Yeah. So then, keeping track of attendance at the meetings, seeing that all members at least attend 75% of all meetings throughout the term, reporting quarterly. Vice Chair Habash is responsible to monitor. So. Do I have-
But that hasn't been changed yet. It's currently Vice Chair Brown,
Yeah,
right? So now it needs to be.
it would be me. Yeah. Do I have a motion to have Vice Chair Habash to be in charge of tracking attendance at meetings and ensuring that all members at least attend 75% of all meetings throughout the term? Member Michelena Fernandez, do I have a second? Member Sanchez? All right. Member Michelena Fernandez made the motion and Member Sanchez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. All right. So then, yeah. So getting more people to attend our meetings and track social media traffic assigned to the media director that we haven't voted on yet.
But it's the next line after that that you'll need to update.
Yeah, so collecting citizens' input through visits to schools and reporting quarterly was assigned to Jaquez and Boyce, and then another member that's no longer here. Would you guys like to continue to be in charge of that? Okay, so then you guys would want me to, would vote for another person?
Yes.
Okay. So would anyone like to be interested in being the third person to collecting citizens' input throughout visits to schools? Member Salimi? Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to have member Boyce, Jaquez, and Salimi to be assigned to collecting citizens' input through visits to schools? Member Michelena Fernandez. Do I have a second? Member Sanchez. Member Michelena Fernandez made the motion and Member Sanchez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. Okay, let me write that down. Do you want to add something?
It's above.
Oh, yes. Okay, give me one moment. All right, so keeping a record of who goes to the Adopt a Road events, tracking to make sure all members achieve 70% of the attendance. The member that was doing it is no longer here. Would anybody like to be interested in making sure that all members achieve 70% of their attendance? Member Neese, all right. Do I have a motion to move forward with Member Neese being in charge of the Adopt a Road attendance? Member Cruz, do I have a second? Member Sanchez? Member Cruz made the motion and Member Sanchez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right. Okay, yeah.
Anyone out there see the next one we need to change? Yep.
Yeah, so moving on to physical assets, finish and install the Love Project overseen by Member Jaquez and a member that's no longer here. Would you like to continue to do it? All right. Do I have another member that would like to partner with Member Jaquez and finish and install the Love Locks project?
Vice Chair, I'm so sorry. I'm going to stop you there only because with this particular project, I have been working with the city with various departments, and honestly, I'll go ahead and take over that. So you can put me down as the main person.
Okay.
It's just, we're so far into the groove right now. It's just too hard, and I've got people reaching out to me, and so I'll just go ahead and keep that under my belt.
Okay.
You want us to vote on you? No, I know. I'm kidding.
All right. So do I have a motion to continue Member Jaquez as in charge of the finish and install the Love Locks project? Member Echeverria Campbell. Do I have a second? Member Francis. Member Echeverria Campbell made the motion and Member Francis seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, moving on. Internal, yeah. So this would move on to Chair Brown, but it is maintain a clear communication system through group text assigned to now Chair Brown. This is measured by the communication value. Send out a monthly to-do list to council members to ensure that everyone is prepared for the upcoming meeting assigned to soon to be Chair Brown, reporting on quarterly on what percentage of the to-do list was completed. Do I have a motion to appoint Chair Brown to maintain a clear communication system through group text and to send out a monthly to-do list to the council members? Member Jaquez, do I have a second? Member Michelena Fernandez. Member Jaquez made the motion and Member Michelena Fernandez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Okay.
To make a note, if you read under fiscal assets, we're going to have to update that because obviously, if you read through it, it talks about the drive-in movie. It
Okay.
talks about projects we're not even doing anymore. So,
Yes.
we certainly can do that. That would be my suggestion, because if you read through it, it talks about obviously what our projects were at the time. That it has not been an agenda item, so at this point, no, we cannot keep it on there. We can only keep items on there that have been voted for.
Yeah, and if you notice under time and process, your junior and senior projects are already noted.
That's true too.
So, under your physical assets, how do I want to say this?
Just say it.
I don't know that I know how to say it. Again, this is one thing where I think you can be general, under this particular area, organizing a meet and greet in Cape Coral to explain our mission, organizing events in Cape Coral to explain our mission as a council and raise money for upcoming projects, that can include, various fundraisers that happen during the holidays, during the course of the year, and various state and national conferences. I think you can do it that way. That way you don't have to keep eliminating projects each time. They may not come about, but you're noting it's still a physical asset. You're still doing projects and fundraisers that specifically call for donations and to help fund things like various state and national conferences. Okay?
Yeah.
I had a separate question.
Yeah.
On your official assets. Since NLC is obviously not close by, would I just erase that to the Florida conference instead?
Well, first it has to be decided how you want to rework that paragraph.
Okay.
So, some suggestions. You guys now come up with how you want to word it.
I think that we should probably do the Florida one first, and then since you'll be like editing it throughout the year after the Florida one is done, and then you would put the, well, yeah, we'll change it back to the one for the DC. Does everyone agree with that, or not? Should I make a motion out of that?
Okay, what do you want your motion to be?
That, so we would edit under the fiscal assets, that it would be the Florida conference, and then after that one is completed, then we would switch it back to the DC one.
I think if you just talk about fundraising efforts that help support local, state, and national conferences, okay?
Okay.
That way you cover you got the
You
big
include it
umbrella.
all. It's
You
all
got it all, so
Yeah.
DC's under there, Florida League of Cities is under there. If you do a local conference, it's under there, you know. That's what strategic plans are about. Not to get so much in the weeds or get too specific that you continually have to make changes to it,
Okay.
okay?
So, okay, so then we'll do that instead. Are you okay with that? Yeah. Okay. So then, would you want me to make a motion on that, keeping it like just how you said it?
Yeah, or if you want to change it, you know, I didn't word it perfectly. If you got a better way to say it, say it. okay? Or make that part of your motion.
Okay, so do we have a motion to add all the conferences into the physical assets in order so it to be easier that we're not continuing to go back and forth changing it? Member Jaquez, do I have a second? Member Sanchez? Member Jaquez made the motion and Member Sanchez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. All right,
You know, we don't have to do it this time, but in future years, I think you can do the same thing with the chair position. You can just say assigned to chair. You don't need to put a name there. That way you don't have to keep going back every year and changing the specifics, okay? 'Cause
Okay.
you know who the chair is gonna be at those particular times, okay? You don't need to do it now because you've already decided to put the names in, but as we review it in the future, then you can look at areas where we don't have to make it that specific by name because it's already been identified as the chair or the vice chair.
okay. I think we already did the message external one with Member Jaquez, Bice, and then
Yeah.
the third person was or Salimi. Yeah, okay.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that should be all.
We
Yeah,
did,
Member
yeah, we
Cruz.
did, yeah. Ellen,
It'll be Member Cruz.
yeah.
So then we went over all of them. So that now we have a new person for each one.
And the only thing I would ask, and I brought this up before, and the city council does it for their meeting with their strategic plan, is when you do your agenda, and you talk about your different items, you know, which item, does that fall under with the strategic plans? In other words, you know, when the agenda is put together, you're talking about the junior senior project, you know, this falls under time and process for the strategic plan. It could be as simple as that. You know, or just so that you know that you're keeping track of how you're meeting your strategic plans. Your agenda should almost mirror your plan so that you're keeping track. All right, we're fulfilling these items in our strategic plan. So, Ms. Grayling can take that up with the chair for the next meeting, right? Yeah. So, that's all.
Okay, so then I'll move on to the next item.
If you're done with that one. You done
Okay.
with that one?
Yeah. So now I'll move on to item 11F, which is a communications director vacancy and the backup communications director vacancy. Our previous communications director, Ambrielle Calix, has graduated and we must fill the position. You will find the current application in your backup materials and all of you were asked to review it ahead of time. I will now open the floor for discussion for anyone who would be interested in filling any of these positions. Member Jaquez?
I think it would be a great fit for the communications director to fill the vacancy spot because I already have a job in being like a communications person because I'm also communications chair for personally the Florida Key Club District. I already have plenty of experience in posting online, getting the word out, and engaging in not only like state interests but also local domestic like clubs for specifically Key Club. But also I have like good communication with other dimensions. Like I have a good relationship with the Kiwanis or adult spectrum of our state or other nearby cities. I also have the resources to talk to other cities to gauge interest or get the word out, especially to people our age group because that is what youth council is for. So I just personally think I'm a great fit. That is all.
Member Bice?
I just had a question. This is for the backup communications director, right? Because I thought that the regular one couldn't be on youth council. Yeah, okay.
Correct. So Vice Chair, the first portion that you're approving is the application itself, not the communications backup.
Okay.
So the first thing that we're looking at is just the application that's part of the backup. Everybody should have reviewed it. Any changes need to be made. That's the first thing we need to discuss.
Okay. So then, I'll go back to that. Do I have a motion to move forward with and improve this application for our communications director?
Sorry, Vice Chair, you have to ask, does anybody have any edits first?
Okay.
We
Does
can't
anyone have
approve
any?
something till we have the discussion, okay?
So does anyone want to add any edits to the application? Alright, so then, do I have a motion to move forward?
Well, hold on. Did we ask if there was any edits? You have to ask if there's any edits, and then you have to see if anybody's raised their hand.
Yeah.
Okay. And nobody had any edits? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, do I have a motion to move forward with and approve this application for our communications director? Member Bice, do I have a second? Member Sanchez. Member Bice made the motion and Member Sanchez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. So I'll turn the floor over to Ms. Grigelin for any additional information.
Thank you, Chair. So the only two things that I wanted to add to this point, obviously, is school doesn't start till August the 11th. So there's no sense in us trying to put out an application when nobody's in school. So if you guys all agree upon it, I had decided that we could maybe start the application August 18th, have it run for a full month, and then the application would close on September 18th. Does that sound logical to everyone? Okay. And then obviously, what we can do next month is we'll have the application put back on there. The next topic we're actually gonna talk about is obviously coming up with flyers. But then we can discuss a little in length on the next meeting as to how you guys are going to help me once you guys are in school to spread the word about it as well. Okay?
Okay. In addition to a new communications director, we will also need a member to serve as the backup communications director, essentially assisting the communications director should they be unable to post or otherwise unavailable. If any members are interested in this position, please raise your hand and be prepared to make a short speech about why you feel you should be a good fit for this role. So Member Chacquez already went. Is there anyone else that would be interested in being the backup communications director? Okay, so Member Vargas is not here, but she's also interested in this position. She can't be here today to read her speech, so I'll read it into the record. I believe I would be a strong backup communications director because I have marketing experience through both my job and my mom's company. At my job, I run our cafe's social media pages where we've gained a lot of engagement by creating fun and creative content to promote our drinks, events, and specials. Through these experiences, I've learned a lot about social media, content creation, and connecting with people online. I enjoy marketing and coming up with new ideas. I'm dependable, organized, and always willing to step in wherever I'm needed. I would love the opportunity to use my skills to support Youth Council, promote our events, and help showcase the positive impact we make in our community. So that is her speech. Is there anyone else that would be interested for the backup communications director? Okay, we will now vote for our new backup communications director. I will now turn it over to Ms. Grigelin to help with the voting.
Well, to be truthfully honest with you, since there's only one, then all you have to do is if there's a motion to approve. Oh, there's two? So sorry, I cannot hear that. All right, so who was the second one?
Member Jacquez.
Jax, okay. Let me get my sheet.
Jax or Jacquez? Jax?
Okay, so once again, when I call your name, you're either gonna say Jax or you're going to say Vargas. Vice?
Vargas.
Cruz?
Jocks.
Francis?
Jocks.
Habat? Oh, sorry. I apologize. I wasn't supposed to, just so you know, I'm not skipping you, but the chair only is supposed to vote if there's a tie. So I'm not skipping you. It's just the rules that I did not aware of, okay? Hecheveria Campbell?
Jax.
Jax?
Jax.
Michelina Fernandez,
Jax.
Nice,
Jax.
Sanchez,
Jax.
Salimi,
Jax.
Trujillo Garcia,
Jax.
and Wayne.
Jax.
Okay, that's 10 for Jax, 1 for Vargas.
All right, do I have a motion to appoint Member Jax as the backup communications director? Member Sanchez, do I have a second? Member Cruz? Member Sanchez made the motion, Member Cruz seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, moving on to item 11G, which is
Vice Chair, you forgot the to-do list, which is part of looking at the flyer that's in there.
Okay, so going along with the application, if you check in your backup materials, it has the application there when it says that the application opens August 18th. Are these updated dates or are these like old ones for the application?
No, they're current dates. That's why we're here to make, if there's any additions you'd like to make, this is the time,
Okay.
okay?
So the application opens Tuesday, August 18th. Application closes Tuesday, September 15th. And to be eligible, it would be to live in Cape Coral and then be enrolled into any of these high schools listed as in Cape Coral, Ida Baker, Island Coast, Mariner, North Fort Myers, Oasis, homeschool, private school, charter school, or virtual school. And then to apply, you go to the Cape Coral Youth Council website, download the form attached to the website and complete it. And then email your form to Ms. Gergelin's email. Is there any discussion about edits to the application? Okay, would I make a motion for that? Oh, yes. Okay. So Member Cruz?
I just have a small statement. The flyer might be broken on some of your screens. It's completely broken on mine. So just keep that in mind. I'll try to resend it in without it being completely unlegible. But I don't have any other suggestions or edits to make to this flyer. I think it's pretty solid.
All right. So Member Wing, did you want to add on?
I wasn't sure if it was maybe like hidden or something, but I do think we should have a little spot where it details exactly what the responsibilities are for this role.
I like that idea as well. Okay. Does anyone want to add anything else to the poster, Ms. Gergelin?
The only thing that I would like to see, because it's not clear on there, nowhere does it say that the application is for a communications director. Because remember, eventually we're going to have an application for the youth council, just like you guys applied for. So nowhere on this application does it say it's specifically for the communications director. So that's the only thing that I would ask that be added on for a little better clarification.
Okay. So those would be the edits that we would add to the application, and then I would make a motion out of it, correct?
So if there's any more edits? So if there's no more edits, then we could do it correct, considering it's one general, saying based on the edits that we discussed, do I have a motion to approve those edits?
Okay. So based on the edits that we talked about and agreed upon, do I have a motion to move upon with these edits? Member Sanchez, do I have a second? Member Neese? Member Sanchez made the motion and Member Neese seconded. All right. Okay, so, yeah. It's like a little messed up on my screen. It's okay. It's okay. So moving on to item 11G now, which is okay. So as like the item as a whole. Okay, so do I have a motion to? Oh, yeah. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. Okay. Moving on to item 11G, City Council meeting discussion. At our previous meeting, the Youth Council agreed that it would be beneficial for each member to attend one regular City Council meeting this year and provide a brief report back to the Youth Council. This will help all of us stay informed about what's happening at the City Council level. In your backup material, Member Jackson provided us with a brief summary. He is not here to present, but all of you should already have read it on your own. Also, in your backup materials, you will find this year's City Council meeting schedule along with a sign-up table. Before today's meeting, everyone was asked to review their calendar so we could begin assigning members to the remaining meeting dates. So far, the following meetings have been assigned to myself that will be attending the July 15th meeting. Member Echeverria Campo will attend the July 22nd meeting. Member Vargas will attend the August 19th meeting, and Chair Brown will attend the August 26th meeting. Our goal is to have every meeting assigned by our next Youth Council meeting to avoid scheduling conflicts later in that year, or in the year. With that in mind, would anyone like to volunteer for one of the remaining meeting dates? Member Michelena? For what meeting date?
For September 2nd, Wednesday.
Okay. Do I have anyone else that would be available for the September 16th, October 7th, October 21st?
October 21st.
Yes. Member Bice?
I'll do the September 16th.
Okay. Yeah.
Sarah, I'm so sorry. Can I change my date?
Yeah.
Can I do Wednesday, November 18th? Is that possible?
November 18th?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do I have anyone else? Yes?
Okay, so can you drop that one, the September 2nd opening?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take that.
All right. All right. So, do I have anyone else that would be available? Member Salimi? You said November 18th? Michelena Fernandez already got that one. Okay. All right. Do I have anyone else that would be interested in doing it for October 7th or the 21st? Okay. If you need more time to figure it out, feel free to contact Chair Brown after the meeting so she can document it. Is there any further discussion? Yes?
I'm not sure if this is happening already or not, but I was just wondering if we could have someone edit that as the dates like fill in so that way I can see like what meetings are open that I could attend.
Okay. Ms. Grigowin, would you?
Sorry, once again, repeat what you said, I cannot hear you.
She said that if it would be possible to edit who will be volunteering for each date, if that's possible, that way that other members.
What I will do is I will confirm with Vice Chair who was already chosen meeting. I will send out a new calendar on Monday.
Thank you.
All right. So moving on to item H, which is the DC trip, it was determined at the previous meeting that there is interest in attending the NLC conference in Washington, DC. Again this year, just as a quick refresher, the Youth Council had the opportunity to attend the National League of Cities conference in Washington, DC earlier this year, where they met with youth councils from across the country and explored our nation's capital. To attend this trip, over $25,000 was raised, funding each member's attendance fee, including airfare and hotel. To maximize the amount we can raise, we should start fundraising as soon as possible. At the last meeting, members were invited to come up with their own fundraising ideas. I will now turn the floor over to Ms. Grigland to discuss what we can or we cannot do when it comes to fundraising before we review the ideas submitted in our backup material.
Thank you, Vice Chair. So I know some of you had submitted some ideas, and after further discussion with our Assistant City Attorney, unfortunately, some of those ideas just won't work in the format that we run our meetings in and the type of organization that we are. So anything that has to do with like raffles or drawings or baskets, 50/50s, any of that, just so you know, when you submit your ideas, those have to be dropped out. We cannot do those types of raffles, okay? Other than that, Vice Chair, you can take over.
All right. For those who submitted fundraising ideas, who would like to start? Michelina Fernandez?
Okay, so I have 3 ideas. Is that fine?
Yeah, of course.
Number 1 was partner with local restaurants that donate a percentage of sales on a selected night. When I was in SGA for our school, we had to raise money for decorations for homecoming and prom. So we partnered with Culver's and we raised a lot of money with that. So we also have that one. We also have ask local businesses to sponsor the trip in exchange for recognition on social media or at events. And number 3, invite local restaurants, bakeries, and food trucks to participate in a tasting event where attendees purchase tickets to try food from different vendors or donate a percentage of sales. I don't think 3 will work, but I have 1 and 2. That's it.
All right. I actually did like number 3.
May 3 work since it's not a raffle, right? If attendees purchase tickets to try food from different vendors, we can do that, right?
I think it would be similar to the movie, right, Mr. City Attorney? It would be similar to what we did.
So you're talking about like almost like an entrance fee where they get to go and try different things,
Yes,
but they're not
yes.
entering into something to win something.
No,
They're
no.
paying simply to taste different foods
Yes.
or whatever it is.
Yes.
That in and of itself is fine.
Okay, so 1, 2, and 3 are available. Had to make sure.
I am actually going to look a little bit further into number 2. Actually, that one gives me a little bit of pause, but let me just look into that one. For now, 1 and 3.
Number 2, the corporate sponsorship?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we'll not talk about that here right now at all.
Okay,
Okay.
everything's fine. It's all
Okay,
good.
perfect. Thank you.
It's all good. Nothing to see.
Okay. Would you like to add anything else, or is that it? Okay. So, who would like to go next? No? Okay. So, do any other members have fundraising ideas that they would be beneficial but did not submit any of it to the backup materials? Okay. I will now turn the floor over to Lyson Nelson Lastra to further discussing the fundraising.
So as I mentioned during our last meeting, really quick, let me see it again, because there were more children last time, right, Ms. Griglin? Were there more children at our last meeting? Or less? Less,
Less.
okay. Show of hands of who up here right now thinks they want to go to DC in March. Okay, all right, so we calculated based on the amount of kids that we have total, that we would have to raise about $27,000. And that would include your airfare, the food, and all of the tours that we do, anything that costs money.
Conference fee.
conference fees, all of that. And it's totally doable. So one of the things that Ms. Griglin and I will work on, we've got 2 grants that we'll be applying for. I just got the link, Ms. Griglin, yesterday for the Kiwanis, so we'll be asking them for $10,000. We'll also be asking the local Rotary Club for money as well through their grant program. And at our kickoff, which we can do at Nice Guys if you all would like to, you want to do that? Okay. So Nice Guys Pizza, and I expect you to be there, Member Sanchez. Then what we do is we invite everybody you know and all your parents and all their friends, and they donate. And we'll figure out what the cost is per kid this year so that we know each kid, we need this much per kid to attend, and we'll push that out at our kickoff event, and you invite all your friends, all your families, and all their friends, and see if they will sponsor to send us there. So that will be our big kickoff. If you would like, Vice Chair Habash, you, myself, and Chair Brown could go and meet with Mr. Gebhardt, who owns Nice Guys Pizza, and you will talk to him and very nicely ask him if he would be willing to donate his pizza again and be able to host that party. We fit about up to 100 people. It's pretty crowded, but we can fit that in the pinball room. And then we'll put it out on social media and invite members of the community. We actually had a lot of council members and former council members and just members of the community that donated online. Ms. Griglin, will you have to reset up a GoFundMe, correct? I already have one set up. Yay! So we'll have, that will look like, and we can talk about it once we plan it and you guys can report back. But we will have QR codes on all the tables. We will have a way for people to give us a check. And basically we need their money. So we will figure all of that out. And when we have our committee meeting, which Ms. Griglin can plan for any upcoming Saturday, maybe after or before school starts or after school starts, whatever works with the majority of your schedules, we can talk about that and get that all planned so that you can just report back to the big group. So, but the DC trip will be a lot of fun. I think, remember Bice, you were there? Who else was there? Just you? Do you want to tell them how fun it was and all the things we did?
Yeah, it was really fun.
And who were the best chaperones? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It was really fun. I felt like we got way closer because of it. So it was kind of bad that it was towards the end of the term because that's it was a good bonding experience for all of us. What did we do? We went to the National Archives. What else did we do?
We went on the
White
Cherry
House?
Blossom tour in the White House, and I got you underground
We got to see
in
the
White
White
House.
House. We did a bunch of stuff. It was just really fun, and it definitely got us closer as a group. So I would really recommend going if you can.
Well, I think you guys learn a lot too, and I think the conference, we actually had our former chair and former members who actually led part of the conference and some of the discussions. So that gives you an opportunity to meet youth councils from around the country, and you can hear what they're doing. We can steal their ideas. You can bring them back, and it just really gives you an opportunity to kind of work with other groups. And then there's always a Florida delegation meet and greet that I will be happy to bring you guys into this year again, where you get to meet basically all other mayors and councils from around Florida. We may or may not break into the Texas delegation. One of my high school people that I graduated with, she's a council member in Houston, and so last year we kind of broke into the Texas delegation one because I wanted to see her. So a lot of the girls got to meet them. But yeah, we'll do that, and it just gives you an opportunity to see how government works. Advisor Hayden and his wife were great chaperones and took a group to the National Archives. We did a, Cherry Blossom tour on
We didn't have cherry blossoms yet.
It wasn't Cherry Blossom, it was real, it
We
was
did a monument.
cold.
We did a monument
we did a
tour.
monument tour. That was a lot of fun. The kids got out, got to stop at each of the monuments and take pictures and talk to National Guard members, and it was pretty good. So we will need to fundraise first to make sure that we can secure our funds to book but we'll need to have the bulk of our fundraising done by the end of the year because Ms. Grigland starts booking in January because hotels and the conference fill up. So I want to make sure that we are all, everybody who wants to go is committed and we have permission slip signed and all of that, probably by, what would you say, November? Yeah, November. And just know that if you're on the fence, you better decide quick, because if you're on the fence and you finally get to go, it may be too late after we've booked everything, right? Member shocks. She had that experience. But I think I spoke to her parents last year, and I think they're going to allow you to do it this year, right? And Berenice, I'll work on yours if you need me to. But yes, it's a great experience. You will enjoy it. I had a female colleague of mine, former Mayor Sanibel, current City Council member Holly Smith, who was up there at that time. She she will no longer be the president of Florida League of Cities, but she'll still be up there. So we'll have an opportunity to talk to colleagues like that. I also had a colleague from here who Venmo'd me a couple $100 and said, give it to each of the kids, and all the kids decided they wanted ice cream, and I think that covered all of the ice cream, the couple $100. It's very expensive to eat in DC, so we really have to plan accordingly. And we were able to secure dinners with our lobbyist, which was amazing because the students were able to speak to the lobbyists that came and talk about different careers in government. If you don't want to be a politician or you don't want to be a political advisor, there's many things you can do in politics. So I think it was a great experience. So we will get planning on that when we set up our committee meeting, and then I will meet with you and Chair Brown, and we'll figure out a time we can go meet with Mr. Gebhardt, who owns Nice Guys, and beg and plead him to have our party there. He's a wonderful community leader. He donates a lot to charities locally, so I can't imagine he would say no, but we still need to ask.
To give you some idea of the dates, the national conference dates have been set for March 14th through 16th or 15th through 17th, somewhere in there. The youth conference part of this usually happens before that, so you can plan on leaving on March 12th, which is a Friday, to get up there to attend the youth conference, which will probably start on Saturday through Monday or Sunday through Monday. So March 12th looks like it'll be the key date of when we would fly up there. Okay?
And it usually coincides with y'all's spring break, so
Yeah.
you won't need to take time off from school. We have one of our former youth council members, Emily Feichthaler, who will be attending Georgetown, and I promised her she can come to meet us for one of the dinners. So, okay, that's it.
All right, perfect. I'm excited. I want to go. Okay, moving on to item 11, which is the mental health survey discussion, and I'll now turn the floor over to Advisor Hayden.
Okay, so last year this body was very interested in doing a survey of their peers on various mental health issues. Obviously, it's a crucial topic for this age group with everything you've been through with COVID and lockdowns and hurricanes. Mental health is a high priority for all age groups, but I think specifically for yours. So they developed a survey that was sent out to Oasis High School, I think juniors and seniors. They got over 200 responses back to the 10 questions. But the second part of that was to work with the Lee County School District to also send a survey to Cape Coral high schools. Unfortunately, after the first round of that survey to the other Cape Coral high schools, they didn't get much of a response. So it kind of got put on hold. In the meantime, the person who had been working with us with that project, Dr. Tim, has changed positions, and now that project has been turned over to a person by the name of Lori Brooks. We talked last week. She's very much interested in getting that survey out to the high schools again once school starts, but we decided that we'd send it out to all the high schools in Lee County. Hang on a second, to get a better representation and hopefully get more responses from the various schools. Provided it's still a project that you all want to continue, because what this group decided to do last year is they wanted to present the findings to the Oasis School Board, the Cape Coral City Council, the Lee County School Board, and any other groups that might be interested in it, with the ultimate goal of setting up a mental health town hall so that your age groups could come. There'd be a panel, share ideas, share thoughts, share concerns. Ultimately, that's the plan. The last part of that has not been executed yet because we're still waiting to get the survey results. What the school district would like to do would send the survey out to the juniors and seniors from all the high schools in September, with a plan of getting the results back in October. The key point of this is they had a liaison from this youth council to work with now Lori Brooks to stay in communication, contact with them about the survey and those results. Last year, that person was Member Johnson. Member Johnson is no longer obviously part of the youth council. So we need another liaison to work with the school district and get me out of the way so that you can continue with the project. This is where you come in, since you had your idea with the mental health survey. Obviously, anyone on youth council that's interested in this can do it. We would do it just like we have today. Anyone that wants to nominate anyone else or nominate themselves can, but it's crucial at this point that I turn this project over to one of you so that you can continue to work with them once the school year starts. So that's where we're at with the mental health survey. So really two things, I guess. Do you want to continue with working with the school district to move the survey out to as many juniors and seniors as we can, to get as many results as we can, so we can have a good cross-section of people that can present the results to various bodies, again, then with the ultimate goal of having a youth town hall somewhere in the future. So, and then the second part of that is establishing a liaison to work with Lori Brooks of the Lee County School District to stay in communication about the project. So those are your two things to talk about.
So basically, we want them to select somebody to kind of take the lead and work with Ms. Brooks?
Correct.
Okay.
Not me.
And I would make a motion on that as well.
Yeah, you can start by making a motion on whether you actually want to continue forward with the mental health surveys. If that's in the
Correct.
affirmative, then you would make a motion to appoint someone to be that liaison.
Correct.
Okay.
Those are your two topics of discussion.
And then would that person also want to then be and work with me to put together the mental health panel like we did this last time?
Possibly.
Okay.
Possibly.
All right, we'll start with just who
Yeah,
wants to
give
take it on.
Okay, so continuing with this discussion, do I have a motion to continue the mental health discussion and the survey? Member Cruz, do I have a second? Member Neese? Member Cruz made the motion and Member Neese seconded. Now moving on, who would like to be,
Go ahead.
oh, any
Yeah.
discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. Okay, now moving on. Would anybody be interested in filling the position instead of Advisor Hayden to work with Brooks?
Well, not necessarily working with me. I will continue in a role of advising and all that, but this is to work with
Brooks.
Lori Brooks of the Lee County School District.
Yeah.
As a liaison.
And are you gonna set up that communication between whoever?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just checking.
absolutely.
All right. So is anyone interested? Echeverria Campbell? Okay. Do you want to would she want to say anything for her position, or do we just?
Is there anybody else that's
Continue?
interested? Then I would say no. I would say you
I
guys
mean,
can just.
you're certainly welcome to say
I mean,
anything, but if there's
yes,
no
but
other,
there's no other competition, so you could just vote her in.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adopt member Echeverria Campbell as the youth council member to be working with Brooks for the mental health survey discussion? Member Bice, do I have a second? Member Francis? All right, Member Bice made the motion and Member Francis seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, perfect. Congratulations. Okay, now moving on to item 12, which is the next meeting agenda topics. Do I have a motion to adopt items? Well, actually, we did say we were going to go back to item 11D. So then, which ones would we be continuing to talk about for the next meeting? So, wait. Yeah. So we would continue with item 11D, and would we continue?
We're back on 10A. So we skipped over 10A, which was the quarterly report discussion. We were determining which topics. So now that we've gone through the whole meeting, let's determine, because remember, they have to start making the presentation. So the only way they can start making the presentation is to know what needs to be added on.
Okay. All right. So, with the quarterly report, mm-hmm. Okay, so now we need to discuss the ideas for the topics we want for the presentation so our members know how to prepare. Does anyone have any ideas that we would like to add, that we would want to add for the presentation? Member Sanchez?
There we go. So first we have to change the junior and senior members to our new existing junior and senior members. And our communications, by that time, we're still not gonna have them decided, I'm pretty sure. So we're probably gonna have to either leave that blank or just delete the slide in general for only one meeting, of course. And then all the schools are still represented, so that can stay the same. We'd have to change out the senior and the junior project into the new existing ones that we just voted on today. And we're still continuing the school reach out program, so that could probably stay the same, except we'll be visiting all the schools all over again, so it wouldn't be just Cape and Mariner. And we could probably get rid of Hope for the Holidays, and we're still gonna do the meet and greet. We're just gonna have to update the dates for whenever they're decided. And Adopt a Road is still gonna be going on. Are we continuing Lovelocks?
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll continue that and we'll keep that on there too. And then just update the dates for the last slide as well on the next meeting, whenever we have that one. So,
Okay. Would anyone like to add anything else to the topics we want for the presentation? You wanted to add something?
I don't know if she already spoke about this, but like the application opens if the date is gonna change. You get on the last slide with the thank you. Other than that, nothing much. Like the application date will be canceled. Like, on the last slide, where it's like, thank you, should we change like the application date when it happens? Yeah, like it says February 28th, so I don't know if that's gonna like stay the same for. Sorry, what page are you on? The second to last on the slide, where like it says thank you, administrative contact, and then your email.
I think you're looking at the wrong slide, Jo.
Am I?
Are you looking at the school reach out one?
Yeah.
We're looking at the quarterly report
Oh
one.
my gosh. Penny. Okay. And then other than that, that's fine.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, Vice Chair, did we already appoint people to work on the presentation?
Yeah, we had member Bice, Jackway, and then Echeverria Campo.
Okay, perfect. So those members now understand the changes that we would like to see at the next meeting as the draft, and then just make sure that I have it by August the 7th.
Great.
Okay, so now I would make the motion of that we would edit the ideas, that everyone agrees that we would edit the ideas of changing the members, the junior and senior members, that all schools would be represented to the present junior and senior projects, to get rid of the hope of holidays and any other unpresent projects that we would be working on, and then change the date for the meet and greets, and then the potential of changing the date for the application opening. Okay, so do I have a motion?
Okay, did you want to add anything about planning and fundraising for the next year's DC trip? And how beneficial the first one was? Did you want to add anything that we're continuing to work with the Lee County School District on the mental health survey, which was started last year? You want to add either of those?
So for the members that are like doing that, the quarterly report presentation, do you guys agree with him to wanting to add that? Since you guys are mainly in charge of it. Okay. Jax, Echeverria, are you guys okay with that as well? Okay. All right, so do I have a motion to proceed with all the edits that we talked about for the quarterly report presentation? Member Sanchez, do I have a second? Member Michelena Fernandez? Member Sanchez made the motion and member Michelena Fernandez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. All right. So then now going back to item 12, the next meeting agenda topics. What items would we continue to look back on? Because
So look at your agenda and just go through. We obviously know we need to keep the junior project. We know we need to keep the senior project. The Adopt a Road discussion, since we're having one, we always keep that because then we have it called a debrief. The school reach out program, we should definitely keep that because we want to start figuring out how we're going to organize the schools. The strategic initiative, we know we're going to continue with that because someone's making the edits.
yeah.
The communications director, that should definitely go on there because we're going to make sure that once we have the application and the dates all set, which we do, now we're going to figure out a strategy of how we're going to let all the schools know. The city council meeting discussions should definitely go on because we know that when's the next meeting? I'm sorry.
July 15th.
Okay, which is gonna be this Wednesday, so we definitely wanna keep that on there because we wanna make sure we get the report of the person who went to the meeting to report back to us. The DC trip, that'll always be an outstanding one. The mental health at this point will be an outstanding one, so honestly, we're gonna keep all of them, so items 11A through I.
All right. So, keeping items 11A through I, do I have a motion to adopt items 11A through I with the removal items of none for the meeting held on August 14th, 2026? Member Bice, do I have a second? Member Sanchez. Member Bice made the motion and Member Sanchez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. All right, and item 13 is reports. I will now open the floor for any reports from the youth council members. All right, seeing none, I will move on to item 14, reports of the council license and advisors. Are there any reports from our council license and or advisor?
No report.
No report.
All right, perfect. Item 15, time and place of future meetings. The next regular meeting of the Cape Coral Youth Council is scheduled for Friday, August 14th, 2026 at 3 p.m. in the council chambers. In item 16, motion to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting? Member Bice, do I have a second? Member Michelena Fernandez. Member Bice made the motion and Member Michelena Fernandez seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay. The meeting is now adjourned.